Hello, Twitterverse. This is Rachel here, and I am with Aaron, who is the founder, coder, collector, and artist of Web3 and of MintyLinks. Welcome, Aaron. I'm super excited to talk about this volume or version 2 of MintyLinks that you have just released. Want to tell us more
Thank
about
you,
it?
Rachel. Yeah, no, absolutely. For those that aren't familiar, MintyLink started in the summer of this year as basically the idea started as a way to replace Linktree, as like a new artist in the space, somebody that was starting to figure out how to kind of build my profile and tell my story. Linktree seemed to be the default, and it didn't feel right. You know, we expressed ourselves in a visual medium, and having a series of text links didn't seem to make a lot of sense. So, and my background is in software development. So I thought, all right, well, we can very quickly and very simply do something better than Linktree, and we'll do it just for our friends in the NFT world. So we started and we built it and we launched it, and it was goofy but it was also great. It just brought in some links and we could add some photos. But it was almost immediately that we learned that, to be honest, NFT artists and digital artists have nuance that traditional artists haven't faced, dealing with different blockchains, different listing platforms, the metadata, the ability to add different components and mechanisms into the way that we mint, right? Like we have a whole new world that's different than just, look at my print work or look at my photos. And MintyLinks evolved really, really quickly. The first real version that we released then included the ability to add in your artwork and classify it by collection, and then talk a little bit about yourself as an artist. I think that that's one of the most important things that you can do is tell your story. And so we built that out and we got that off the ground, learned quite a bit from our community. But I'm super excited to say that we took all of that and spent a few months in the lab actually, really absorbing what we had done, what we had learned, but now really applying it to a Web3 world. And the V2, we're calling it for lack of a better term, is really the culmination of a lot of this learning. And I think that I know that we consider this the foundation for what we're going to build on top of this. At the end of the day, we want to see autonomy for the NFT artists. So, right now the discovery tools that we have at hand include Twitter, like it or not. Twitter's one of our most powerful discovery tools. And then basically each of the listing platforms. So Foundation, Super Rare, OpenSea, Exchange, wherever you might list your work, or possibly have minted it as well, but list your work. That's your best shot at discovery. But unfortunately, you are now tied to that platform. What we want to build is a platform that is centered around the artist, not centered around form. And so that means on MintyLinks, you can include all of your artwork. So it's chain agnostic. You can include anything from Sol, Tez, ETH. We do favor ETH because it's the easiest and it was the first that we could launch on. But and you'll see some of the features here in a second. But it is chain agnostic. You can put any piece of work on the platform, including unminted work. So again, all of us as NFT artists, we have our portfolio, we have the work that we've chose to mint, spend a little bit of gas on to get out to the world. But we all have an entire collection of things, probably some really incredible work that is unminted for any series of reasons. Maybe the collection isn't quite right. Maybe the timing isn't quite right. Maybe it's a piece that we just hold very dear to us and we don't want to just blindly mint. This is something that we really want to hold on to. So you can actually include your unminted work as well. And I'll talk about some future updates that will center around kind of unminted work. But so we really become chain agnostic, and we become listing platform agnostic as well. We become that hub for those digital artists.
That's amazing. And for anyone who watches this, I've watched the progression of what Aaron has done with MintyLinks, of when it first came out to what it is now, and it's incredible how much you have changed and evolved given just a couple months. Like, this
Yeah.
is actually really amazing to hear these updates you have just included, and the fact that you are the one building it. You are the one who kind of shapes where it goes, along with your son, I believe, who helps you.
Yeah.
with-
Yeah.
it's really amazing, and I love what you said about unminted work. I have a lot of questions in my DMs of like, Rachel, I love this piece, but I just don't know where to mint it. I'm like, then don't
Hmm.
mint it. But they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I want to share it. And I'm like, okay, well, MintyLinks, this is a great solution of just having your workout, your best foot forward, all in one place that represents you, the artist. So this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and it is. Well, so first off, I really appreciate you following this journey from almost the very beginning. Rachel, you were one of the first that I asked, and got some really candid feedback. But yeah, we definitely we believe in that kind of fail fast mentality. So, you know, the idea is try some things out, throw it against the wall, have our people provide us feedback, and then and redo it. And I actually I really should reiterate that, like, this is built for NFT artists. This isn't some kind of creation that my son and I kind of concocted. Like, this was built specifically to solve the needs of NFT artists. And at the end of the day, if we're being incredibly blunt, the purpose of this platform is to help NFT artists sell and find new collectors. If we're not doing that, regardless of how pretty this looks or how much fun we have doing it, it actually doesn't matter, right? But yeah, so we learn from our friends, and it's fun. This is like the perfect storm of things to build. We have so much fun doing it. I myself am an NFT artist, so I get to strengthen my experience and the things that I've learned as an artist. And then, oh, by the way, we get to learn from other artists and then turn this into like a real thing that should be able to help a lot of people. So, all good stuff.
Awesome. Well, let's show people the goods. Are you ready to share your screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sharing. Is this the one you want?
Yeah, nope, that's perfect.
Great.
So yeah, we are starting very humble. Our first goal, and it has been our goal, is to bring artists onto the platform. There's a lot of different approaches we could take, but we chose to kind of stick to our value systems and be artist first. So as opposed to bringing on a bunch of collectors that would give us a ton of attention probably, and then bring the artists on from there, we feel like the first thing that we need to do is really satisfy the needs of the artist. So you'll see that it's quite simple at this point. The discovery layer that where you can actually find the work is coming up very soon, but it isn't on right now. Right now, the whole purpose is to bring our artists on and help them curate their space. So I'm going to walk you through just my own profile here. So we are Ethereum wallet enabled. So you'll actually sign on with your Ethereum wallet. Simple sign messages. Again, you should never be approving anything. You should always be assigning things or just signing things. So we do have quite a few artists on the existing platform, but now that we've moved to a Web3 model, we want to make it easy for both our existing artists and for our new artists. If you're a new artist, you can start fresh. You can jump in and, do you already have a profile? Nope. I'm going to jump in and do mine simply because it's already populated. So if you already have an account, you will have signed up with your email address. Just enter your email address there. Hopefully we find it. Perfect, we did. And then it allows you to go into your page. For everyone, once you connect, the first thing that we're going to do is scan the chain and grab all of your artwork. So you'll notice, so it brought over my profile, a username, display name, a little bit of a bio. We have some of my information about my journey, my style, my vision, and then our links. And then, of course, where we originally started, your links, the links that you can add. So this is a profile page, and we can always go back and edit and update this. But if we go to my page, this is where you'll see that it's already started to grab and scrape from the chain. So in our previous version, one of the biggest complaints we heard is that it is an absolute pain to manually upload all of your work. Totally understand that. So we wanted to leverage the power of the blockchain to make sure that we would grab your work for you. So this is the main primary page. This is the page. that I'll be sharing on my Twitter profile. And when you submit to CompStomp and all of these other galleries, they always ask for your portfolio. This is the perfect place to use this. You can see we have our basic setup here, and then we have our collections. And again, it's very important for NFT artists, digital artists, to actually run and display via their collection. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I don't have anything featured right now, so I'm going to go in and feature some of my work because I'm proud of some of this, and I want to make sure that I show off some of my early stuff. You can see some of my Milky Way work here, a couple to featured, and we'll do this one. I like this one too. So you'll see that now I have a featured tab, and I can always manage on these featured tab. If I want to remove them, I can, but this is the first step in kind of curating my profile. The next thing I'm going to do is, I have an old collection that really doesn't represent some of the work that I have. So I'm actually going to go in and start hiding some of these as well. Again, this is my portfolio. This is what I want to show. So I'm going to hide some artwork. I even have a collection. Rachel, you'll be familiar with this collection. We did a white elephant, that Rachel organized for a group of us, and I minted a piece and sent it to a Milky Way fan. But I built a specific collection around that I call Gratitudes. It was just a collection of work for showing an appreciation and gratitude. However, on my portfolio, this was for friends. I'm going to go ahead and just hide the collection. Not that I'm ashamed of it. It's just, as I show off my portfolio, that's not one that the public needs to see. The other thing that I can do is I can reorder my collections. So I want my astrotherapy. This is my most active collection. I want this one to be at the tippy top here. The next is my flow therapy. This is a series of really funky colors and photos that I did at Antelope Canyon, a slot canyon in Arizona. I really want that to be next in my list, and then the rest are looking good. But again, as you can see, the idea here is for artists to be able to very specifically curate, what folks want to see. You see that we've got a couple of other areas here. One of them is the About Me. Now, remember, I haven't entered anything in here yet, but again, the ability for an artist to tell their story, we want to make sure that we at least help along that. So we provide these prompts. So tell us your journey. How did you get to where you're at? What was your spark? A lot of times it's hard to put into words what somebody's style is or what type of work they do. But from our own voice, we can describe kind of the work that we do and how we would explain our style. And very important is our vision. Why are we here? What do we expect to do? Where do we want to see our artwork go? I can say, as a collector, this is an important aspect of an artist. I want to see that they're intentional about what they're building and what they're creating. And so we give this little spot for that. You can include another image if you so choose. And then we have our links. This is the original Linktree replacement. A lot of our artists still have their toes in Web 2, as they probably should in this bear. So if you've got prints, if you've got a portfolio site, if you've got examples of commercial work, this is a perfect place to put your links. If you've got interviews that you've done previously, put the YouTube links in here. Again, take advantage of the links section here, and then of course your socials as well. But again, the goal is to tell this artist's story. And I'm going to do one last thing because I want a bit of a new profile look. So the other thing that we can do is you can select any of your work and make it your header image. Ooh, that looks good. So I'm going to stick with that. So this is the basic setup, but now we get into some of the more powerful tools. So let's take, these are 1155s. Let's take my shot still standing. This is a long exposure shot of a saguaro. And now we can go in, and one of the first things that I'm going to do is actually begin to classify this. So we give you the option for categories and tags. And this is right now, again, we don't have the discovery layer up. However, we're definitely going to have that in place. And so the better you tag your work, the more findable or discoverable it is. So I'm going to say desert. I'm going to say long exposure. There's saguaro. Let's say night. That's probably good. The next thing that I can do too is I can actually put the listing details for this shot up as well. So I'm not going to do it right here, but if I wanted to put the foundation listing address here, I can put the listing amount. It knows that it's an ETH because it's already read it from the blockchain, and so I'll put the listing address here as well so that it can link. But now my tags, my information should be saved, and now I can kind of curate these very specifically. So heading back out to my profile, we talked a little bit about the unminted work, and that's actually, and this is also, I'll show you the chain agnostic side of things. So in a collection, if we want to add artwork, we'll get a little pop-up here. If for whatever reason we missed a piece that has been minted on Ethereum, we can actually manually pull that in. So some of the old school OpenSea contracts don't pull in very seamlessly. Some of the old school foundation contracts don't pull in very seamlessly. So you enter in the contract address and the token ID and search, it will actually pull that information up for you directly. But the other thing that we can do is create our own. And this is where we could pull in anything from Solana, or this is where our unminted work would go. So I'm going to pull an unminted piece, call it desert. And bring in the photo here. And then once this loads, we create this piece, and you'll notice now it sits. Oh, I didn't want to edit that yet. And there we go. So it's now associated with this collection, and you'll notice that it sits in my portfolio like anything else, except for it is unminted. So if I select this work, I can go in and edit any of the additional details. So again, photography. I don't have a listing address, and that's totally fine. But now you'll see that even though this is a completely unminted work, it sits and acts just like any other piece on here. And in the next iteration, we're actually going to be able to flag this as well. So not only does this sit as unminted, we're going to give our artists a flag so that you can actually identify it as unminted work, or what we'll call it. We haven't nailed the term yet, but we'll call it like available for mint on demand, or we'll maybe just call it like mint on demand, something like that. But very clearly identify work that is available to be minted. Okay, so Rachel, I'm going to stop there. That's the basics. I could go on. A lot of it is just kind of playing around, looking at some of the things that you can do. So for instance, if you have updated some work, you have new things minted, simply click refresh my NFTs, and it'll go grab anything that you can. We do have a metrics page. So as an artist, if you're interested to see how many clicks you've had on any of your particular work, we have a metrics page for you to go ahead and monitor that. Nothing clicked because this is brand new. And we'll add some new functions in there as well. And I've kind of gone through all of these. You can add or remove from featured. You can make them a header image. You can edit directly from here and give you the information. One thing I will note for anybody that is trying out MintyLinks, remember that anything that you do to modify the images in MintyLinks will only exist in MintyLinks. It does not update it on the blockchain. So if you change the description in MintyLinks, it's only changed in MintyLinks. Very, very important delineation. We don't want to impact the blockchain. We just want to make sure that the work that you have here is displayed correctly and appropriately.
Wow, this is like this is so cool, Aaron. Oh my goodness. Also that desert blizzard piece. Why is it not minted? It's gorgeous. Oh,
Actually, it's a really perfect example. Like I don't have a collection that it should be minted in. This is my very first film work. This is on 35 millimeter, and I really want to start leaning into that. So I kind of need to just hold tight until, I have my head around what I want to do with it. But it's actually a perfect example of like I'm so proud of this work, but and if I only put my minted work up here, nobody would really see it. So no, I want to make sure that this is that this is out there. And actually, I want to highlight. There's another really great use case for the unminted work. A lot of times, artists will kind of like pre-sell their work, and so you know that you're going to mint something. You've established a collection. This is a great way, in lieu of sharing a Dropbox or a Google Drive, this is a great way to get collectors to come look at your work and potentially reserve work prior to minting, without having to go through the janky kind of Google Shares type of thing. So in your own portfolio, you can do like a true like pre-sale and shop around your work before minting. So another great use case.
I think those are the best use and what should be the most commonly used cases. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. But what I love of what you've done with MintyLinks versus some other things that you can use out there is that you do so much already with just connecting wallet and scraping what is already out there, and well, not really connecting, signing with your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just it seems like you've taken so much of the brute work out of portfolio building, gallery building,
Mm-hmm.
and like what many people experience, like on Twitter, they post something and then it gets lost to the algorithms and the noise. This, you
Mm-hmm.
do something once and it is something you can easily share and go back to for however long you keep it up. I
Yeah.
think that has so much value in this space because we're
Oh,
wasting so much
thank you.
time. We're
Yeah.
wasting time doing other stuff.
Well, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Like we're wasting time trying to figure out the nuances of the technology and the minting. So, that's the exact purpose of this is let's do the heavy lifting for you and get you everything on the page, give you this kind of, it's not a blank canvas, but it's a canvas with very movable parts. And then you get to do the really important thing, and that is tell your story, organize your work, show it the way that you want it displayed. You have to worry about trying to pull in or identifying contract IDs and things like that. Like you get to just, you see all of your work here on the board, and then you get to just organize it and show it off the way that you see fit. And that is the idea, because the value is, right, your display or your demonstration of the work, not the ability to pull it from the chain, basically.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that so well. So I think you said that there were things coming up with MintyLinks
Mm-hmm.
3.0. I mean, I think this is 2.0.
It will be a 3.0. Yeah, no, I think you're right. So in between, one of the next things that we're going to do, we already in literally, well, a couple of days of beta and one day of being live, we already have a list of features that we want to make sure. The flagging of the minting on demand, I think, is really important. We did it because we thought that this was something that would be useful, and to be honest, the feedback on that has been overwhelming. So clearly, our community has spoken. This is an important part of our journey, so we're going to double down on that and really make this something powerful. So yeah, we're gonna increase the way that you can kind of create and organize collections for unminted work, and build that flag in, and that will be within the next 2 weeks. So that one's going to be very soon. But once we kind of let the dust settle, the V3 is really going to be that discovery layer. So the homepage is gonna be completely redone, and the idea will be to come out and find work or find artists. So a couple of the key features is we will have an artist directory. So very specific page where without the work, you can go through and learn about artists and have that in a one-stop shop. Um, we will have a normal, like we're used to, search function. So you can filter by chain if you so choose. You can filter by token type. So if you want 1155 or 721, and then you can filter by any of the tags or categories. So the fun part about this is, this replaces a lot of those show threads. I'm looking for black and white work under 0.05. Show me your work. Nope. Go to MintyLinks and search it. You don't need to engagement farm anymore. Like, you can find all the work that's out there that's black and white landscape under 0.05. That's, it's going to be that discovery layer to help us find that. But also we want to do some fun tools as well. So we will do a random page, a discovery page, a just roll the dice and show me what you got page. And it has nothing to do with, again, the popularity or the number of sales or anything like that. Those types of random plays, those serendipitous plays, we think that those are incredibly important in our space, and they're fun, and they're very fun, and it might help people discover things that they didn't even know they were looking for. So we're going to put a lot of these kind of discovery features on, and really double down on that side of things. Of course, continue to support the artists in building and curating their profile, but at that point, let's get this out there and help people find your work.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to bring up, is that people will only be able to find your work if you sign up for MintyLinks and you make a profile and you put your work on there and you tag. I know it sounds like a lot, but we do it every day on like social media anyway. So why not have it be of benefit for you? So just to answer that, since some people might not know, MintyLinks is open to everyone.
Correct. Yep. It's open to everybody. It's absolutely free. We, at some point, we will figure out how to monetize, how to find value. But today the goal is not monetizing this. Today the goal is building something that helps our friends, do what they need to do as artists. We think the sky's the limit on the things that we can do here, on the partnerships that we can do. So there's going to be no shortage of opportunities. But yeah, no, absolutely, this is open to everybody. Our first version was an invite only, but there's no reason for us to put hurdles in the way of getting artists out there and helping artists show their work. So this one is truly available to everybody. The only light restriction is that you do have to have an Ethereum wallet. So you do have to connect with an Ethereum wallet. It doesn't mean that you have to mint on Ethereum, though. You can have a MetaMask, sign in just fine, and then put all of your Solana work on here. So, but the sign-in process is an Ethereum wallet. But that really is the only restriction that we have coming into this platform.
That's great to know, and a very good distinction. Like, you don't have to be minting on Ethereum, but you do need to have an Ethereum wallet. I had a question for collectors. Then, when you release Volume 2 or V3, the searchability, do collectors need to connect to the website to be able to search for NFTs?
So no. So anybody can come out and search and use the discovery and the search platforms. However, for our collector friends, which Rachel, you and I both dabble also, we will. So this will be a little bit later after the first discovery version comes out. This will still be in the V3, but we're going to build some fun tools for collectors as well. So we'll build watch lists. We'll build virtual collections. We'll probably call it something like, my dream collection or something like that, where collectors can come in and build their kind of shopping cart, their list, and watch different artists. We, at this point, and again, anything can change, but my intent is to avoid building in social layers on this. We want to stay very, very true to this discovery side of things, and allow the social layers to really do what they do best. However, there might be value in having a specific connection. So if you've signed in and you've identified yourself as a collector, and we have a mint on demand flag that an artist might have, it may make sense to, in very specific scenarios, allow these two humans to connect to potentially figure out what that might look like. So again, it wouldn't be an open social layer, but we are definitely going to build tools in for collectors that help them find the right work, actually discover those, unknown artists, find their next showcase piece.
So much excitement going on right now, and so much that's about to come with MintyLinks. But for now, for anyone, go sign up, because this is going to be big. And if you want to start at the beginning, this is it.
Yeah.
I
And
definitely something
I
great.
should talk about the we want to show appreciation too. So I will mention that we launched with the V1 an NFT that we called our MintyLinks OG Pass. It's our V0 Pass. And we're going to make it still available, even though we're on V2 now. We're going to make it available to our community. So if you sign up, create your profile, you saw the profile link at the top of the page, and you drop that in your Twitter bio, DM me and I'll send you one of the OG passes. We're limiting it to 100, and I'm excited for that, because one day when this is big and we're all talking about MintyLinks and how it's evolved, there will be 100 people with a actual NFT sitting in their wallet that shows that they were truly here at the very beginning. So if you sign up, you want to drop the MintyLinks link in your Twitter profile, DM me, and I'll get you one of those passes for sure.
I love it. Long-term views.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. This has been a wonderful just overview of what is now possible with MintyLinks, and kind of where it's going. This is really amazing, and I really appreciate your time with explaining everything so clearly and beautifully. Is there anything else you want to share with people before we sign off, or?
No, this is actually, I will say, I'll just reiterate that this is built for the artists. So if you do try this out, I am Crypto Rookie on Twitter. You can find me pretty much anywhere. But if you have any ideas, if you experience any bugs, things that are less than perfect, but again, opportunities, things that you would love to see, DM me. DMs are wide open. Please, our job is to figure out what you as an artist need, and so don't be shy.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Aaron, and of course, check out MintyLinks.
Thank you so much, Rachel. So appreciate it.
Okay, bye.